Well, I think if you look at the history of hockey and hockey itself, hitting is part of the game.
So many of my friends get concussions when they were younger.
Danger of taking the hitting out is players that develop late or in that probably that pee-wee to bantam area certainly are at a huge disadvantage. There's no doubt.
The learning to take a hit is more important than learning how to give a hit.
You know, the statistics that 99.9% of all kids play minor hockey will never make it past minor hockey. You know, hitting is an important part of the game at the higher level, but if you just want kids to be out there playing for fun and scoring goals and passing, that hitting becomes more of a deterrent. And so it's kind of a mixed bag of, of opinions, but I think that in the regular house league, it's not a bad thing just to have the no hitting. Kids will now maybe have the choice even. I don't want to get hit, I'm going to play select. I want to, be part of that, I'm going to play A, or if I think I'm going to develop farther. And I think that in the end, will keep the programs going strong. Kids are growing at different rates, and so, they're not even in control of their own bodies when it comes to giving hits. And so it's very hard to, you can't teach a player how to properly body check all the time. And what was happening is there's a lot of headshots, not intentional headshots, but headshots nevertheless. And so I think in that sense, I think they realize that we don't need this because the game is still fast-paced, exciting without the hitting. I really enjoyed the hitting aspect of the game with my son the last 2 years. The games you were on the edge of your seat, you were very tense, and because it really was a big part of the game. Having said that, again, my son, smaller, there was always an element of fear. It's a little bit like riding a roller coaster. It's a lot of fun, but there's that fear element. And now this year, I can watch him just kind of play without worrying about that sort of aspect of, getting a headshot and possibly, getting a concussion. And I do know in an A game last week, the captain of his team, who was a big guy, he's out with a severe concussion on a hit into the board. So you see that there and you kind of go, wow, okay, maybe this is the right thing to do.
It's kind of like getting rid of some of the competitiveness, because like when I was younger, if you were going through like the blue line with your head down, you'd get hit or laid out, and now people can't do that, so it's kind of changed the dynamic of the game, I guess. The pros would be a more competitive game and everything, but the cons are there's a lot more injuries, and now with like people like learning about the head injuries and everything, and how much more they've been progressing, learning how concussions can be longer than just a week or two, they can be up to 6 months. So I think it can kind of be detrimental to it, but they need to bring hitting back and have the coaches teaching the kids how to hit properly and how to absorb hits properly, and basically they have to teach the fundamentals of hitting more, they have to focus on more aspect of it rather than just telling them to go out and hit someone. If you're playing minor hockey and say you're very good and start going to like the OHL or the AHL or whatever, you're not prepared for the full contact you see from other leagues who have been playing with contact their whole lives.
So if you're going to take out hitting, you're not going to prepare the hockey players for the hitting when it happens. And I think, in my opinion, the earlier they learn how to give a hit, take a hit, the better the training mentally and physically for more professional hockey down the road. In my opinion, I think you have to have excellent trainers, excellent coaches that know how to teach the kids how to properly hit and take a hit, and how to keep their heads up and how to avoid getting hurt. Because sometimes if you're not training minor hockey players a proper way to take a hit and give a hit, that's when they get hurt. Kids that never had that experience of being hit or hitting, and they're the ones that were fearful of going into the corners or taking a hit, and they're the ones that would usually get hurt, right? Whereas the kids that, through the years had developed from this age up, they're usually, you're going to get crunched sometimes, but most of the times you're okay. Like if you're, going down the ice, you knew at some point someone's going to try and hit you. So protect yourself and drop the puck off and let it go.
I think we're going to see a lot more injuries. That's one thing I say, because it's like a kid that's never driven a car and you hand him keys to a Ferrari all of a sudden. You think they're going to handle it? No. I think what the GTHL and all other places have to start to learn to do is yes, I can understand hitting out of tykes and stuff like this, but what they should start to do is get a graduated system where they bring it in a graduation stages, like taking with no hitting at when they're young, and then putting limited contact, and then taking it up to full contact, not just going from no hitting to full contact, because you're just not going to give them the skills that they need to learn to protect themselves. We teach all of our kids to be aggressive, and contact is part of hockey and always has been. Taking it out, well, you're going to start to change the game, and I can't see that being the best for our nation as taking that and changing the rules to that. And if they haven't learned the skills as they're coming up, they're not going to have the skills that they need to perform at higher level hockeys. I knew there was a problem when kids started wearing cages, when I saw two midget players, AAA, come together, hit, and yeah, face-to-face hit. They don't have the skills to protect themselves. So now we take them and put them into an NHL position when they don't have that.
Yeah.
What do you think the result's going to be?
It's smashed up.
That's right. We're going to have a lot of injuries. I think they're trying to change the game. I don't think it's for the better, because I don't know if you've ever seen a 1-0 or a 2-1 game. You could be sitting in the stands and got to go to the bathroom, and guess what? You're not getting up for nothing as long as that game's being played. But now you see 6 goals, 7 goals. I'll go to the snack bar, I'll come back. Then you're still not going to miss the game.
Depends on the level of hockey. If it's house league, no. If it's rep hockey, higher level hockey, I think it's part of the game.
Big change of just no contact. There'll be a lot of people doing more stick handling and more finessing it, but you won't get like that Canadian grinding hockey out of the system. Like, there's always, like in the NHL, there's always some Canadian grinders who go out there and just hit off the grind, get like dirty goals, go out the net, driving hard.
Kids are getting hurt, and I think at any time we've seen this, it's very visible because hockey is so popular. Kids get hurt, sometimes seriously, and it's easy to raise an alarm bell, and maybe rightly so, because I guess again I get back to, if you're not making a career out of it, then why are you bringing it in? Because most of these guys, guys who are going to end up playing beer league hockey, where there's no hitting. It's on a Sunday night at 11 o'clock, kind of thing, where you just go out and dipsy doodle around. So, that's pretty well how they're going to enjoy the game. And I think the flip side is that there may be parents that are keeping their kids away from hockey because of the hitting. And maybe there are some really good players that can develop, and finally, the parents might say, okay, they do have the skill, we'll take them to that next level. So I think it's kind of a, get more kids involved in a safer environment to grow the game that way.
Yeah, it's fine and dandy that we want to protect our kids, and yeah, I think we should. But in the end, we have to teach them how to hit and how to take a hit to protect themselves in the game. And I don't think you're going to get hitting out of hockey.